Hi, mighty companions. I'm coming on a little early today with my Wednesday Wisdom Weekly video because I have a lot of plans for this afternoon. So I thought I would just jump on today and share a little bit with you about what today means. Today is December 21st, 2022, and it is the winter solstice. It is the shortest day of the year in terms of sunlight and the longest night of the year. And it is also the first day of winter. And it is a day that has been significant spiritually for millennia, from the beginning of time. So not only was the winter solstice celebrated by ancient civilizations in Machu Picchu, with Stonehenge, with different monuments that we have been found by archaeologists through eternity. I have seen places where they have aligned the stones in Mexico so that on the winter solstice, the sunlight comes streaming through a small beam, and it took a lot of astrological calculations to make that happen. And obviously there was some reason that people at that time thought that it was important to build monuments and to align the stones in such a way, because this time of year is a celebration of all that is ending. It's a pivotal point in time to let go and release what has come before. It's a time to rest and a time to go within and to reflect on what has happened in the past year, and to be willing to allow the release of whatever has not served you or whatever is holding you back in your spiritual growth. So not only has this come forward in our history to be celebrated by the pagans with Yuletide, and now reflected in our modern religions with Hanukkah and Christmas occurring around this time. That is no accident. This is energetically a very meaningful time for us each year. And so I hope that you'll take advantage of this time to spend a little bit of energy looking at your stories, your life, your belief systems, and seeing what is keeping you stuck and what it is that you can let go of. So I have another story to share from my personal life about what happened to me this week. And I want to start off by saying that my mom, when I was growing up, was a domestic goddess. She was just so creative and so talented at making the holidays special. She loved to bake, she loved to cook, she loved to meal plan, she loved to entertain, and she was a fantastic hostess. And this is the example that I grew up with. However, I don't have a talent for any of those things, and I don't have an interest in any of those things. So for me, the holidays have always felt like a whole lot of work, a time when I had to do a lot of extra activity that I did not enjoy. And so this year I was looking forward to a peaceful and quiet Christmas, home alone with my husband. Two of my children have to work on Christmas Day, and one of them has to work the day after Christmas, so they weren't going to be able to travel to spend the holiday with us. But my mother-in-law lives nearby, and she was planning to have family come and visit at her home. So a few days ago, I received a text message from her that said, "I think it would be better if we had Christmas at your house because you have more space." It's true, we do have more space. But when I read that message, I was like, my relaxing, enjoyable Christmas has suddenly been ruined, because my mind went to, now I have to decorate. We have to run out and get a Christmas tree, which we don't even have yet. Now I have to cook, I have to shop, I have to set the house up to entertain company. There looked like a possibility of 6 to 10 people showing up, and suddenly I felt this huge burden, and I went into panic mode. Not panic mode, but I was not happy. And I was relaying all of this to my husband and complaining about how this burden had been foisted upon me. Of course, I could have said no, but I wasn't going to do that. And my husband said, "Of course, I'm going to help you with everything." And I thought, What do you mean, of course? Why would I assume that you're going to help me with everything? For 20 years, when our children were growing up, I did it all. He was working, he was traveling. I was always the one that did all of the shopping, wrapped all of the gifts, decorated the house, cooked the dinner, and he had all the fun. So why would I assume that it was going to be different this year? But when he saw that I was in this place of anxiety about the whole celebration and that my holiday was being spoiled, he was like, let's just take care of this. We happened to be in Virginia last week, and he said, let's just go to the Honey Baked Ham Company and get a ham. So we did that. And then we saw that they had all the sides for the Christmas dinner there frozen. So we got all that. And then we stopped at a supermarket that I like to shop at in Virginia and got appetizers and desserts and eggnog and cider and all the jazz. So we came home with a car loaded with everything that we needed for a holiday dinner. And I was so relieved. But what I learned from this experience is how, number one, we all make assumptions and judgments based on our previous experiences. And we often do not stop and question ourselves about, is this really true? Just because it happened that way in the past, does that mean that's how it will always happen in the present and the future? No. And where are we abandoning ourselves? Where are we unwilling to ask for help? Where are we making ourselves stressed out and upset over something that hasn't even happened yet? Where do we punish ourselves and make ourselves miserable when it's completely unnecessary? My message on this channel has always been very clear that suffering is unnecessary, that we make ourselves suffer by our thoughts and by our beliefs. And we don't need to do that. We have the opportunity in every moment to look at things differently, to have a different perspective, and then have a different experience. Now, in the past, if my husband wanted to go to the store and spend all this money without shopping around, without budgeting, without planning, without comparison shopping, I would have upset myself over that. So one problem would have been solved, and then I would have created a second problem for myself. And the ego does this to us. It wants to keep us in misery. It's always looking for evidence and for things that it can do to convince us that life is a struggle, that we are in danger, that we have to be on the lookout and we have to be prepared and we have to work hard to make life go smoothly. And that is not the case, and that is not the truth. The truth is, it's all about a decision that I can make right now to choose to be happy, to choose to enjoy whatever is happening, and to do the things that I need to do so that I can feel supported by others or supported by myself, so that I can, instead of going into this energy of, oh my God, it's hard, oh my God, it's an upset, oh my God, life is falling apart, to instead step back and reflect and say, how can I be my own best friend in this moment? How can I look at this so that it doesn't feel so heavy, so that it feels fun? What can I change? How can I do things differently? What can I say to myself that will help me to feel nurtured and supported? Because all of us, this is a challenge for all of us, is to work with this inner child that we have who did not feel nurtured, did not feel supported, did not feel unconditionally loved, and did not feel like life was always going to be this magical, easy breezy thing. We have to work with that inner child to reassure her or him that a mistake has been made, that we were mistaken, that we perceived something at one point in time that felt bad, that felt off, and then we made a judgment based on that one instance that we have carried with us through life and continue to see evidence and continue to see reflections of that particular judgment instead of seeing the truth. And the truth is that we are always divinely supported, and we can allow that divine support in when we open ourselves to see things differently, to relax, to ask ourselves, what is it that I need in this moment? How can I love myself in this moment? How can I show my self-care and support in this moment? Because there's nobody else out there. The rest of the world is a projection coming from my mind. So when I get my mind aligned, when I get my mind right, all of the rest of the things fall into place and they all take care of themselves. So I'm really pleased that you showed up here for this weekly video. It's always such a delight to see you. Hi, Mary. Hi, Gillian. I hope I said that right. And Karen, nice to see you. Donna, and whoever else is on here. I wish you all very happy winter solstice and holiday season. I'm Teresa McGallagher, and I love you. Bye-bye.